we're really excited about this enhancement.
Cutting through all of the data and really getting to the so what should we do next?
Scale the insights or tell the incredible story around your data. This journey is off, and we're really, really excited about where it's going to go.
Welcome, everyone. I see some familiar faces out there, so it's nice to see you guys again. And for those who I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, I'm Satoshi Asari, the Chief Product Officer here at Luminoso. So to kick off the 2024 series of webinars, I'm joined today by Mark, our CEO, to chat a little bit about what we're up to at Luminoso, and what we have coming up this year. So with that, welcome, Mark. Great to have you with us today.
Thanks, Satoshi. Happy to be here. Excited to be here. Excited to meet a lot of our clients, and looking forward to this presentation.
All right, so today we're going to spend a little bit of time reflecting on some of the things that we've heard from you all, our customers. And we definitely appreciate all of the feedback that we've gotten, last year and through the years, for those of you that have been with us for a while. And we'll talk a little bit about, what we've done, in response to some of that feedback, and then what we have planned for the upcoming year under Mark's leadership.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, Satoshi's been here a long time. Many of you know Kim and John and others from Luminoso, and certainly trust everyone's leadership from a product and growth perspective. So we'll reference some specific things we've heard from all of you and what we've done around the product the last few months or quarter or so, and what we're working on, which is an incredibly amount of exciting enhancements and things. So with that, love to dive right in and turn it back over to Satoshi.
All right, so as Mark said, we're gonna just kind of reference a couple things that we've heard specifically from customers, right? So here's a direct quote: "Keep investing in enhancements to the system to make it more user friendly and flexible." So this is a pretty general piece of feedback, certainly, and one that we appreciate and we understand that we need to keep doing. But I did want to focus in on a couple of the words that are in here, right? The word invest and user friendly.
Absolutely. Again, we've heard a lot of you, or all of you, loud and clear over the last several months, and some of the enhancements you'll see even longer. So when I came on board here last May, one of the commitments was that we wanted to really focus on advancing the product, being innovative, evolving it into an end-to-end text analytics solution, and to ensure that we're delivering maximum value to all of our clients and prospects down the road. So we've combined a lot of product enhancements and really emphasized things around customer service. So again, with Kim and John, I'm sure you guys have received continuous high touch service along the way, but we really wanted you to know that we're investing in the product. We want to move fast. We want to iterate. We want it to be agile. And we've done all those things, particularly in the last quarter. And as we come into 2024, we're excited to share a lot more enhancements around the product for you all, kicking it off today. And then you'll see some opportunities where you all can be involved as we move forward. So hope you're all excited to come along for the ride. And with that, moving on to Satoshi and some of the enhancements we're working on. So really excited about it.
Yeah, and
So
so the other word was user friendly. So you wanna maybe Mark touch on that a bit as well?
sure, absolutely, yeah. So again, we really want to make it user friendly. A lot of you use this tool every day. Some of you use it monthly, but we really wanted to make sure that the user was having the best experience possible. So we've looked at the product, we've built enhancements into it, and again, we'll show and tell some of that to you along the way. But just to really talk about partnerships and how important it is for all of you to be engaged with us as we move forward. Wood is part of our CS team. Obviously, John and Kim as well. We've received a lot of this feedback, and we've taken that feedback and found a way to actually scale it into our partnerships. And you all will be part of our partnerships and part of that program. But we've formalized that. We've brought in Nick and Pratik And Ash, our VP of Sales, has been very involved in, leaning into partnerships and expediting improvements around our tech. So as you know, when you get involved in partnerships, whether they're consulting partnerships or technology partnerships, you got to make sure that our tool works extremely well, both from a technological perspective, whether it's APIs or plugins, and also from a user experience standpoint. So these partnerships are going to allow us to deliver more value to our customers, to all of you, than we can do ourselves. So we want to be able to make you aware of some partnership and announcements coming up shortly here, and you'll all benefit from that as we move along into continuous enhancements around our product.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, and as you mentioned, we're trying to move fast. Incorporating partnerships into the product, roadmap and strategy to deliver more value faster to our customers, right? So again, so there's a lot going on. And so for us to get things right, we do definitely need, feedback and testing and things like that from our customers. So we'll have a variety of different things for which we're looking for early feedback and early adopters. So definitely, John and Kim will be reaching out to all of you to keep you informed of what's happening and then so the opportunities that are available for you all to help us.
Thanks, Satoshi. Yeah, and again, reiterating that we've heard you all loud and clear. And another quote that's come in from our clients is, "It'll be good if there's transparency regarding improvements, enhancements, and what's coming and what's planning and when." So certainly, we're going to be a lot more communicative as we get into this year around what's coming down the pike around the product.
Yeah, so hopefully, some of you have seen, the monthly emails that are sent out by our CSMs, the monthly newsletters that are a little bit more broadly generated, out of our marketing team. There's help within the Daylight application itself, and there's a variety of other things that we're putting in place to make sure that we're communicating all of the changes and things like that in a timely manner. And a part of that was to, put in place sort of the operational pieces and the resources that we need to be able to do this effectively, right? So a lot of those things have happened towards the second half of last year, and so you should definitely see, um, more frequent, timely communication with regard to what we're doing with the product, both what's been released, so you can start making use of those features, and then, what's coming up in the future.
Thanks, Satoshi. Yeah, and again, listening to feedback from all of our customers, we heard that we have an opportunity to create a customer advisory board. So people wanted to volunteer and exchange ideas with their peers, and we believe that to be a very important improvement and something that we can all, learn from and collaborate with. So with that, we've actually gone ahead and done that, and Satoshi can touch on that a little bit more as well. But we're really excited to again have a continuous loop and formalize that process as we get into 2024.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, sort of in the context of there's a lot going on. We're trying to put a lot of pieces together. So we're not going to be able to figure this out, all on our own, right? So we're in the process of bringing on some technology advisors that can kind of help us, navigate through all of the stuff that's happening, with AI and ChatGPT and those kind of things. We're also bringing on some industry advisors to really help us hone in on key business problems that our customers are looking to solve. And then, as Mark just mentioned, we will be assembling a customer advisory board. So these will be made up of, some number of existing existing users, to really for you to really provide us, the user's perspective, right, on what works, what doesn't work, what would be great to have, and things like that. So So we're currently in the process of forming this group, finding people, identifying the people that are interested. So definitely reach out to your CSM if you are interested in participating in something like that. Okay, so here's another one. So continue listening to clients, making things easier to use and interpret. So we've heard a little bit of this earlier. And keep your great CSMs on board. Their expertise is invaluable in bridging the gap between the technology and our business. So it is. I don't think this is probably unique feedback to us. There's a lot of analytics products out there. There's definitely one of the challenges, right, to connect the data and the insights that you're gaining the data to a suggested action or some kind of action that you can take on the business side. So John and Kim do a great job of that. We're also looking at product enhancements we can make to help with that as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, we wouldn't be here without John and Kim. Satoshi just said it that they both do an incredible job working with our clients, working with our customers. And again, just being here for a short time, I've worked in a lot of companies over the years, and there's no one better than these two from a customer support, customer experience, customer relationship perspective. So we're happy that both Kim and John have been on board for a long time. They know our product inside and out. They understand our customers' needs, and they bring everything to the table, as you all know, right? Whether they're listening to feedback or they're trying to provide you with some ideas around how to get the best experience from Daylight, around the UX, UI, special projects, whatever you guys need. Hats off to John and Kim. I'm sure you guys would all agree that that they're the best out there. So continue to leverage them, continue to utilize them as we move through with these product enhancements.
Absolutely. So definitely don't hesitate ever to reach out to either of them.
Yep. They're great. Available 24/7. Well, maybe not 24/7, but certainly they're available, as you guys know, all the time. So, getting to another quote that we've heard, some of you wanted to have us rework the color palettes. There's many well-researched and designed color schemes that are higher contrast, that have higher contrast and better for visualizations. We heard you loud and clear, and this is one of the things that we took to heart and we kind of move forward with, last quarter. And again, I'm going to turn it over to Satoshi to kind of talk about some of these enhancements and how we're moving forward with a lot of your feedback.
Yeah, so this is, definitely a very specific piece of feedback with the particular part of the UI, but it was certainly a valid point. So hopefully most of you are aware now that we've updated the tag editor piece of the product to allow you to just pick an arbitrary color for the concepts that you want, right? So you can pick from like a color chart, or you can just add in the hex value or whatever. Previously, you can only pick from a drop-down list of 8 or 9 colors. So anyway, so this is a very specific piece of feedback, and it's certainly hopefully you've made use of this feature as well, and we've made several other sort of tactical feature updates to make the UI more intuitive or easier to use and things like that. Things like allowing exact matches only on drivers, for example. So there's too many to ramble on here. So definitely reach out to your CSM to, if you're not aware of all the changes that we've made, in the last couple quarters, definitely reach out to them, schedule a little bit of time so that they can walk through them with you.
Thanks, Satoshi. Another piece of feedback is that some of you folks were looking for the insight provided by Daylight would be useful and beneficial in this regard. However, there seems to be a fair amount of work required for data preparation. So there felt like there should be an easier way, as you all are working within the tool. So we've certainly started working toward that to solve that business issue or user issue, and Satoshi will touch on that next.
Yeah, so this is certainly a piece of feedback that we've heard for some period of time. We did make a fairly sizable, change to the data upload screen, the procedure in the product. I want to say about a year ago or something like that. One of the pieces that we hadn't addressed with that is the process for uploading, most likely like a survey data set, right? Where there's multiple questions, so multiple, more than one text field that needed to be uploaded. And we know that that process was a little bit cumbersome. Um, so we did just last month release an update to the upload page where you can just select more than one column in your Excel spreadsheet to be the text, and we'll do sort of all the reformatting under the hood. So again, I don't want to get into the details, but definitely reach out to your CSM to get the details on how that works. And hopefully that'll address another pain point that we had in the data upload step. Another thing that's sort of related that we did was we released a feature to allow you to copy concept lists from one project to another, or one project to many projects, depending on how you make use of the different projects within your workspace. So again, this is in the project configuration panel that you can get to from the gear icon on the bottom left of your application, right? But again, reach out to your CSM for the details on how this works, and if you have any questions about this feature. All right, so another piece of feedback was about sort of the the user guides and how to learn how to use the product, right? I really like Daylight, but wish there was a training guide or sample videos on how Daylight can be used. Instructional videos on basic use would be very helpful, rather than just text and pictures, with step-by-step process and things like that. Um, so, so we understand that different people sort of consume information differently. We were sort of previously relying a lot on, written documents, but we now have a lot more content that you can leverage. So webinars is one of them. Obviously, you're aware of that because you're attending one. But there are many. So there's a couple coming up that we'll talk a little bit about, the workflow of a researcher, how to tie that to insights and actions, and how to plan the research to ensure that you're going to get the kind of insights and action plans that you're looking for, right? And then there's a large archive of webinars that have taken place in the past. So so I encourage you to go check out some of those. And again, if you're not sure where to find them, reach out to your CSM, and they'll be able to point them to, and help you maybe find the ones that might be most useful for what you are doing. So speaking of recordings, the webinar recordings are on our YouTube channel, but there's a lot of other content on our YouTube channel as well, to full-length webinar recordings, to 3, 4, 5-minute little snippets of, hey, if you're running into this problem, try this, or if you're looking to do this, try that kind of thing, as well as some how-tos, for Daylight features and capabilities. So definitely go check out our YouTube channel. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have in-app help built into Daylight as well. This will be an area that we will invest a little bit more in to flesh this out. So hopefully you will be able to get, in the moment help as you're navigating through the product. So all of these and other things are definitely, and the user guide itself, the help center, is also something that we're definitely continuing to invest in. But again, this would be a great place for feedback from our customers, right? So that we know what kind of content to prioritize, as we go and add more to these libraries.
Thanks, Satoshi. And again, yes, those assets are great to look at, share with your colleagues, let them know about Luminoso. Also look at our LinkedIn page as well. Great content comes out there, a few times a week as well. And we're going to start to post a lot more on those social platforms moving ahead. So speaking of moving ahead, thanks Satoshi, thanks team. We want to share with a lot of our favorite folks on the call today. What do we have planned? How can you participate in making 2024 a stellar year for Luminoso, and help us continue our growth within the industry? So, with that, love to turn it back to Satoshi, but we're really, really, really excited about these focus areas as we enhance the product moving into Q1 and Q2 this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we kind of touched on some of these things during the first part of the webinar, but these are the three areas that we're really focused on from a product perspective, right? So we want to simplify the data access, getting the data into daylight for analysis and things like that. And this is where the partnerships that Mark mentioned towards the beginning of the webinar really come into play, right? So we are going to find people that can provide the data for you, do some integrations with some partners that have the data that can be used and things like that. And then we want to streamline the analysis. So, so this comes in two parts where we're just trying to make the user interface, more intuitive, easy to use, add more help content and things like that. And then also to innovate, which we'll talk about in a little bit, on sort of cutting through all of the data and really getting to the so what should we do next kind of answers out of the data, right? And then we also want to improve how these insights and action plans and things like that can be presented by you or users to your manager, your stakeholders, your executives, your clients, whoever it is that you need to present to. So really a lot of the things that we'll be working on this upcoming year will fall into one of these categories. And so one of the key things that we want to put a little bit more emphasis on going forward, I mean, I think some of you have participated, in the past, in a strategic business review meeting, with your CSM. I tried to join many of them as well. But this is something we want to, put more focus on, make sure that we're really touching base and syncing up with all of our customers. So you'll definitely be hearing more from your CSM to try to get one of these set up. I think some of you we've already met with and have a good cadence set up, but definitely, reach back out, please, to John or Kim to, set one of these meetings up and to set up some kind of, repeated sort of meeting where we can touch base monthly or quarterly or something like that to keep you abreast of what we're doing and to get your feedback. And speaking of video content, I mean, I think it's great, to have video content where we are speaking from our perspective. But I think some of the best received videos are ones where we are collaborating with our customers, with our partners, to get your perspective incorporated into the video content, right? So if any of you have any interest in maybe sharing your perspective on things, or working with John or Kim to maybe talk about a particular feature or a use case, and sharing that, definitely reach out. We're always looking for new faces and additional perspectives to be represented within our content.
Yeah, and Satoshi, if I could just add to that for a moment, we are very, very strong, as you all know, in the VOC, voice of customer, product review area, right? Voice of employee as well. And like Satoshi said, if we hear from our customers, we'd love to collaborate with you and learn and leverage those relationships and those successes, through video. So, if any of you are really interested, we'd love to, get involved with you as we get into this year, because again, to hear from our customers um, in a way that would help us, not only grow our brand but enhance our product and build upon our relationships, we're all for that. So, I'll thank you in advance for reaching out to Kim around that to get on her schedule.
Absolutely. Um, so we already mentioned the advisory board, so I won't, go too much into the details again. But definitely, if you're interested in being part of an advisory board, please reach out to your CSM and let them know that you're interested. So again, we'll have these strategic business reviews where we can have one-on-one conversations on some of these things. But if you have interest in sort of being part of a group of people, definitely let us know. Yeah, so now we get into a couple of the key feature areas that we're working on, right? So I think a lot of the feedback, we didn't read any of the specific quotes, I don't think here, but having a dashboard-like feature where you can put, different charts and graphs and different visuals into a dashboard, whether it's for monitoring what's happening or presenting to your stakeholders or whatever. That's been a pretty common piece of feedback. So we are in the process of developing such a dashboard. Um, we're definitely looking for some early adopters that are willing to sort of work through some of the kinks with us and provide that feedback. So again, if this is something that's interesting for you and you have the time sort of to spend, playing with it and, understanding its capabilities and providing us with some feedback, please reach out to your CSM and let them know. Okay, and the last thing we have today that we want to talk about is an exciting new development that we have that we will be releasing to market under the brand name Helios. So this is an AI assistant technology, right? So like you're probably tired or maybe overwhelmed or confused by all of the stuff that you're reading and hearing about LLMs or generative AI or ChatGPT or any of the other things that people talk about all the time, right? And so everybody's talking about it. And yes, Helios is a technology that's based on large language models, and it is a generative AI technology. So we're sort of jumping on that same bandwagon, right? But where we can add some innovation, right, is how to utilize or how to connect these technologies to the existing AI and natural language understanding system that we've already developed with Daylight, right? So what we're currently working on is experimenting with the best way to take the data that we are already processing in Daylight and packaging that up so that we can then work with these large language models and the generative AI capabilities of them to then turn those into useful insights or allow you to interact directly with the data, ask questions, find things that are interesting, um, and we see it as sort of a way as something that augments the other capabilities of Daylight, right? So we don't think it replaces Daylight where you're just gonna use the chat interface and be finished. But it'll give you sort of maybe faster ways to get to the things that are interesting that then you can use the existing Daylight user interface to dive deeper into and really find the deeper insights that you're looking for. So so this is a little bit in its early stages. So we're currently sort of in the process of compiling a waiting list for people that are definitely interested again in maybe gaining some early access and helping us to test it. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to your CSM and let them know.
And
So
if I
Mark,
just add one thing, Satoshi,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, we're really excited about this enhancement, right? I mean, we listen to our customers, we've listened to the marketplace, um, we talk to analysts, and the early feedback is that this is a game changer for Luminoso, right? The fact that we'll have a tool that will enable you all to not just experience and utilize daylight the way you're utilizing it now, but also be able to just bring in third party data to um, look at that against your own proprietary data, look at things from another light, from a generative AI tool or chat assistant that'll enable you to get some deeper insights, really in a prompting mechanism, which again doesn't exist today. And then have the dashboard certainly on top of everything that would give you, real time analytics or real time visualization that you could share with colleagues or share with, your organization that will again really scale the insights or tell the incredible story around your data as well as other inputs that come into this system. So we're really excited about it. We are looking forward to sharing it with you all, and reach out to John or Kim or if any of you work with Wood to learn more about it. But this journey is off, and we're really excited about where it's going to go.
Thank you very much for attending. Hopefully, you're just as excited as we are about what's coming. And again, to reiterate, we really do appreciate the feedback that you provide. So hopefully we'll continue to get that from you.